In Senegal, the traditional beliefs are when there is a psychiatric problem, it is caused by an ancestral spirit called Rab. It can be called jinn or Satan. Those are spirits borrowed from Islam and Christian Satan. People think also that other people can eat at a distance other people's organs. So that's what's called the traditional dum or anthropophage witchcraft system. People can think also that mental health problems or psychiatric problems can be caused by the maraboutage. The maraboutage is a system in which people have the power to make you meet jinn or Satan or throw bad luck to you. In the Wolof community, particularly in the Lebu community, there are Wolofs living in Cape Verde in the area of Dakar. There is a traditional healing they use called the Ndep, which is a community therapy. The Ndep is a ceremony that makes a reconciliation with the person who is ill and the community.
The term Ndep is rooted in the term Dep. Dep means to revert back, to return to the right state, to the normal state, to the spot you left before. In other words, in a kind of an itinerary of healing, a Ndep will mean returning back, reverting back to the social, to the normal social order. So that's why it's a ceremony which is basically designed to help heal and to return to the normal state of social symbiosis any individual or any group, in fact, who is deemed to have mental illness or mental problems.
Waaw dinañ faj ku dof dinañ faj ku rab ku am faru rab nga xam ne doo sëy faru rab mun na la jàpp doo am doom yooyu yëpp dañ koy faj.
Most of the raps are supposed to protect, are supposed to help you out and to live your life, let's say, the normal way. In other words, raps are definitely part of the system of socialization by allowing people to be who they should be in society. They are only disruptive when they tell you to do what you shouldn't be doing by disrupting your life or by trying to take over your mind and body and to make you do things maybe you shouldn't have done in the first place.
Parce que xam nga li tax ñu wax loolu mooy xam nga ki ko amul xamul ko ali ne ci biir waaye rab ku ne amul mais déjà wax naa la ko rab ku ne amul kay sa rab dafa lewet rek bàyyi la ngay def nga defee ni alors amuloo fekk na yow am nga.
Most rap don't manifest themselves into any kind of a form of noticeable manifestations. That's the kind of a concept of rap among the Wolof. But some particular raps in some particular individuals do want to manifest themselves by taking possession of the body and the mind of the individual. That's where you need to make a Ndep to re-establish the normal equilibrium where you can live with your rap without the rap disrupting your life or trying to take over your body or your spirit.
Ci biir nit ñi nag même boo ko seetee ci nit ñi sax da ngay gis koo xam ne ci biir këram day nekk ku lewet waa këram yëpp ñeme ko am koo xam nag day tàng xol bu ñëwee rek ñu seen papa ñëw na rek ku nekk day daal di droité ne nugum na ñooñu tàng xol mooy noonu nag noonu la affaire bi demee rab yi daf ci am ñoo xam dañuy soxor am ci rab yoo xam dañu lewet man ngaa nekk 100 ans et 4 dimanches te doo xam sax ne am nga rab.
maa ngi dëkk Bargny Daaru 2 tudd Salamba Pouy maa ngi judd 102 le 6 août lii ñuy liggéey nii nag sama yaay moo koy liggéey sama yaay léegi mag la man may ànd ak moom di liggéey.
It takes a specialist, the Ndepkat, to make sure that she or he knows exactly what the rap is trying to do, and then he or she will be able to revert it back to the normal state.
waaw dinañ seet dinañ def ay càngat sama yaay dina dàmp dina faj jigéen ay jurukaay yëpp.
You learn from a young age by helping your mother or your aunt, or your grandmother who is a Ndëppkat, and then you become a Ndëppkat after 20, 25 or 30 years of training.
moom sama yaay jàng ko donc doon na ci yaayam doon na ko ci yaayam boobu doon naat ko ci yaayam affaire bu ñuy jàng affaire bu ñuy doonante la.
In other words, they are the successors of famous Ndëppkats, being the daughters or the sons or the nieces of famous Ndëppkats. They are trained, they became attendants, and then they became participants, and then at some kind of position they graduate into becoming Ndëppkat on their own right.
Depuis ma juddu ba léegi ba ma feree ba xam mi jànguma école kenn dugaluma dara maa ngi ci lii rek.
The drumming has two meanings at least, or two aims. One is, of course, to alert the people around, the audience, the possible or the potential audience, that this ceremony is coming to be held. It has also another meaning, which is to mobilize the spirits, which is to prepare people also to receive those spirits. Another type of drumming will be to help the healer himself or herself to get ready to be in the right state of mind to accomplish his or her performances. There are so many different ways to address the raps. Usually, the way it is being presented to the patient and to the patient's parents or family is, this is what the rap requires. It could be strange, but that's what the rap requires. Definitely there is social control attached to the rap, and that's why on the opposite side, also you, the Ndëpp and the Ndëppkat, who is the master of the ceremony, has to do whatever possible to tame the rap and also to control the rap.
borom reen bi day ànd ak borom galen bi aji moo yor reen bi mooy sam mais man wala ku mel ne man ñun ñoo yor galen bi ñooy tëggal ñi nga xam ni dañuy dem ba déconner dof carrément doon presque demi folle yi arrangé ak moom ma tëggal ko ba mu nekkaat nit daal alors kenn ku nekk nag dafa am lu ñu ko war a tëggal am aussi ci way bu ñu ko war a wayal bon léegi bu fekkee supposons kii dafa nekkoon léegi ci biir géew bi ñu sóob ko mu war a way wayam du bokk ak wayu kii te wayu kii tamit du bokk ak wayu kii ku ci nekk nag ni nga amee sa wayu bopp noonu nga amee sa galenu bopp sa rythme bopp daal.
Some medicinal herbs also are definitely part of the healing process, and usually it is the Ndëppkat's obligation, or at least, let's say, job, to procure such herbs. Some of the herbs people had to bathe in. For instance, you bathe into a decoction of some particular herbs. You drink a decoction or an infusion of some other type of herb. Sometimes they use it by burning it as some kind of an incense. So there is a wide variety of use of those herbs, and some of them are medicinal herbs. Some of them are supposed to be having magic properties. So there is a wide spectrum of things which could be used by the Ndëppkat. The community involvement is threefold. One is to support, of course, because you have the family, you have people, the patient is family of his. You have the family of the Ndëppkat. They help. It's some kind of a support cast. They have a role to play, but also they make you appreciate that you supported by your family, by your kinship. The sticks are usually broken pestles. Those broken pestles are also receptacles of spirits, and by being rooted in the earth, they allow you also to communicate directly and faster in a way. So this is also part of the harm. If the wrap's requirement is white chicken or black chicken or whatever kind of chicken it is, you have to get it, because just remember that you have as many wrap as you have individuals. So the same way individuals do like so many different things and still remaining into what you will call social realm, that's the same thing with the wrap. The wrap will require you black chicken or white chicken. Another type of drumming will be to help the healer himself or herself to get ready to be in the right state of mind to accomplish his or her performances. Another type of drumming during the same ceremony will be also sometimes to help people who are participating, who are attending, and get drawn into the ceremony because they get into trances. It does also help them, for instance, by what they would say, calling their spirits or calling their ancestors' spirits.
paa bële nag moom comme bu la rab jàppee léegi moom mooy tëgg wax ak rab bi xam galan bi mu bëgg moom bi bu commencé ànd ak sama yaay léegi ëpp na juróom fukki ndax man booba judduma ba ma juddu fekk ka fi muy ànd ak sama yaay ba léegi kaay paa
You see a different type of drumming at different time, at different hours, and sometimes they will stop very abruptly and start on another rhythm and so on and so forth. Because the drummers also had to adapt, not only to receive orders from the performers, but also sometimes to adapt to the situation.
nga gis ñu bokk benn rab bi dafa bari léegi mën nga gis fukki nit bokk benn rab
No,
second is also, I believe that they have to testify what's being accomplished. In other words, if it's being done in the open, as many people should attend it so they can testify. And maybe by testifying and by attending, also they get healed. They get even some kind of an prevention maintenance kind of a system, but because of the beating of the drum, maybe their own rap will be kept tamed, would be kept calm. When you want to attend, and sometimes people would tell you, are you ready to have a crisis there, to have your own rap being called upon and to react, and maybe then you will need to do, to attend and to be healed right on the spot by the Ndupkat. If it's happening sooner, it means that it's not fully developed, it's less complicated. Maybe it's easier to heal at that point because it is a provoked kind of a crisis rather than a crisis which would take its full course.
loolu soo wayee seen rab dañuy daanu ku ci nekk da nga am sa rab.
ñi sant Lo ñi sant Mbeng ñi sant Thiaw ñi sant Pouy ñi sant Diagne ñoom ñëpp daal ku nekk ku ci nekk daal ak sa way kanam.
The Khamb is the altar where you sacrifice. Many Khamb are earthen pots, where you make libations. Different raps require different type of animals. Some rap are definitely very keen on chicken, some others very keen on goat. It also has to do with the level of the mental illness. If it's more complicated, you will very likely be asked to sacrifice, let's say, even sometimes it could go as a cattle, and usually a bull. It depends on the kind of rap you're talking about here. It depends on also the level of cure. If it's a long process, and if the Ndupkat understood that this is going to take time, obviously they are not going to start with the big things. They will start little by little. When you sacrifice the chicken or the animal, the blood is supposed to go to the spirits, but since the spirit is in you and possessing you, of course you will have blood on you because that's the one way to feed the spirit, to entice the spirit to get out of your body, to take that blood, to feed on that blood. And this could be a very crucial moment for the Ndupkat to use it to separate you from your rab.
Bon mo sa alma pot soda jël mo sa jox soda pot bi mu mema ci ndox
Sometimes also the rap requires that you put those different elements in earth in a place which is supposed to be the rap's abode, or which is supposed to be the abode of another spirit which may have a kind of a final say in a way. Because when you're dealing with your rap, it could be that your rap is being manipulated by a bigger one. Usually then you get into a deity system, and then you go to a big baobab tree, or you go by the ocean and you put those things into the earth. Part of it will go to your rap, but part of it will go to the superior rap, to the superior deity, which could then calm down and order maybe the smaller or the individual rap to leave you alone. initial trials of healing somebody is definitely to use the ham, because that's where the spirits are supposed to be resting. Some raps do not require necessarily living animals to be sacrificed. They will require, for instance, some millet, some milk to be poured, something which is supposed to be fuel of life in a way. I have seen myself using millet, using sorghum, using maize, using rice, etc. It could require that.
Waaw fii moom ay jullit rek ñoo fi ne waaw fële nag ceddo ba moo fi nekk te yaasin moom bu la jàppee mun na la naan loo sàngara mun na la tuxloo cigarette xam nga waaw ak woon li ñuy mëxani yëpp dala koy defloo léegi mun na la jàpp ngay naan sàngara rek ñu naan da nga réew mbaa da nga bon te fekk rab bi la.
réew mi muy bat ñi di Ndakaaru du tëggee muuro nañu yàlla ak yoon nañ sabat tek la bi yal na la yàlla taxaw bépp ab jullit te li ngay yóot yal na la ko yàlla jox amiin amiin ak ñi ngay àndal dénk nañu leen yàlla ak yoon ta ba anees am solo pe mu sa gaña mu nga fara sax yéen da leen tek la
moom Kumba la tudd
waaw moom Kumba la tudd Kumba nu ngi lay dénk yàlla ak yoon ta ba di la dénk suñuy maam yi yàlla may la wér may ko bépp jullit may ñaan nag si yàlla yoon ci yàlla Muhammad di ñaan si bismillahir rahmanir rahim maliki yawmi din iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in ihdina siratal mustaqim siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim khayrul maghdubi alayhim waladdallin amin
nenero yegg fa woore ma xam ngeen yaay mo sen may
After the session, you will also have a particular type of drumming, which means not only now this is the final lap, this is the final round, everybody will get together, in a way participate in the crescendo, in the peak of the ceremony, and then also it announces that this is the end of it, that people are going to disband and are going to get away. Another type of drumming would be to say goodbye or to send off the bad spirits.
ñun de liggéey bi ñu liggéey fii boo amee dinañ la faj soo amul dinañ la faj di nga gis ñu liggéey nit mu war ñu fay du am mais dañ koy fat ndax mu wér ñu laabel si bañ si soxor ndaxte soxor amul njëriñ ndax nit ki bu feebaree amul yow nga war ko mën a faj ba pare nga bañ kaa faj boo dee yàlla dalay lakk.
Sometimes it takes one session, a few days, a few hours. Sometimes it takes a a week. Sometimes it takes maybe a whole lifetime. Some people will have to go back to the Ndëpkat every year or something like that for some kind of an upkeeping or maintaining their kind of a balance. And it could be a very long process. And sometimes if it's complicated, also you get into many different systems of healing.
bima leen di wax ñu góorgóorlu rek te jàpp si léegi bu fekkee ñoom dañ ko jàng nañ ci góorgóorlu rek te faj